The final new character to be reviewed in this channel shall be the free character for the ongoing event. Origa is a 5-star welfare water wand unit and is formerly the vessel for Satan. She was inactive for a very long time, all this time inside her own mind restraining Satan's power. With the help of Uden and his team, they managed to bring Origa back, but with the unexpected consequence of allowing the revival of true Bahamut, partially thanks to the Bahamut within Zephyr. For performance, she utilizes her satanic powers in the form of Dragon Drive, and is able to support her fellow apostles particularly well as having a similar kit to the apostles, though satanic instead of angelic. For a welfare unit, Origa does have unique abilities at her disposal. Even her co-ability has foregone the standard skill damage for wand units, in exchange for a standard damage increase. For her abilities, let's take a look at her Dragon Drive ability, Satan's Yoke. As per all Dragon Drive units, this replaces her Dragon Gauge with a Dragon Drive Gauge, and while under Dragon Drive, she is empowered with enhanced standard attacks, increased strength, and the capability to weave dodges into her attack sequence. This part of the ability is basically a typical Dragon Drive based ability. The second part of this ability inflicts the Demon Seal debuff on Origa at the beginning of quests for 5 minutes, much like the Locked Sigil debuff on Apostles. While under its effect, Origa cannot enter Dragon Drive, and her Dragon Drive gauge cannot be filled. When the effect wears off, she will gain the seal released effect, which doesn't empower her, but allows her to gain access to Dragon Drive, and allows Origa to gain 300 UTP automatically every second, while Dragon Drive is not active. As Origa does have a way to remove the Demon Seal debuff, the automatic UTP gain allows her to enter Dragon Drive quickly and more often, which is beneficial to her skill set in terms of damage and support via 3 different afflictions. Origa's resistance ability, the Demon Within, allows Origa to be resistant to all afflictions when under the effects of seal released, which is incredible, but also means that she is vulnerable to afflictions for at most the first 5 minutes of the battle. Her last ability, Afflicted Punisher, is similar to her sister Regina's kit, and even works well with Regina as well. It increases damage to enemies afflicted with any affliction, and further increases damage to enemies with 2 or more afflictions by 15% for each affliction, up to a maximum of 4. With both sisters sharing the same element, this ability can make them have near perfect synergy with each other. Origa's first skill, Koke Thus Whirl, has a decent SP cost, with below average damage alongside Frostbite. During Dragon Drive, the single hit attack is split into 3, dealing overall increased damage, and inflicts Frostbite, Bog, and Freeze. With this skill is simple, and isn't really a good damage dealing skill, but a good applicator of Bog and Freeze. Overall a simple yet useful skill. Her second skill, Banish Evil, has a decent SP cost, but actually takes a long time to fill as its fill rate is reduced by 65%. It removes the Demon Seal on her, as well as removing the Locked Sigil effects on her Apostle comrades, as well as fully filling her Dragon Drive gauge. During Dragon Drive, this skill doesn't have the reduced fill rate, has a separate cost that's decent, and deals decent damage as well as gaining 500 UTP. This skill is also pretty simple, and a great supporting skill for apostles at the beginning of fights, but other than that, this skill helps in her affliction heavy kit thanks to early Dragon Drive access. Overall a decent support skill for apostles during the early part of a battle and a decent skill for her to keep up her Dragon Drive. So, what do you think about Origa? Well, since she is a free unit, there isn't much to expect from her kit. In this case, she is a pretty good unit working alongside her sister Regina and the rest of the apostles, but pretty men in any other team. I would use her a lot if I have Regina in her team, which I do not. Overall, a good unit with apostles, but decent in any other team. That's all from me. Moga out.